What's good? What's good? We got Real Game Podcast here today. We're going to start this one off with Season 1, Episode 3. We coming out of the first week of NBA games after the All-Star break, as well as we transition into the NFL offseason right now into February. We're coming with it being the end of February, I want to definitely say Happy Black History Month. I'm making a little bit of history here, but didn't want to have these shows during the month and not give it a shout out. So happy Black History Month to all our fellow Black people out there doing big things with the history.
Yes, sir.
That's ones that have done history as well. It's me, Willie. I got my man Matt Moore here today. We're finna get into some topics as far as some sports topics over the recent week, and just our opinions on how we felt about it. And right now, the big topic in sports right now, based off of last night, was the Lakers and Mavericks. Both of us sitting out here living in Dallas, Texas. We've kind of had a little bit of fanfare on it, especially when the trade went down. We had some opinions about it, what we thought both franchises was going to go. I took a look back. The standings was pretty much the same as far as actually the Mavs dropped a spot. They down to the ninth, but they still in the play-in. Lakers are still fourth. Luka, first time playing his former team last night. The Mavericks weren't at full strength, but the score ended up being, I want to say, the Lakers ended up winning by 8. Down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Yeah. They kind of took off a little bit because it was getting competitive in that fourth quarter, and then the Lakers ended up making a few baskets when the Mavs ended up coming down and missing a few and not getting some stops. So, how you feel about it, man? How you feel about seeing Luka go against the Mavs, being in that late show uniform, seeing Nico looking sideline and them having a little glare? What's your opinion on the game last night?
First, my opinion seeing Luka in the Lakers jersey is like, man, it's the same as it was before. It's I guess weird or it just looked crazy to see him in the Lakers jersey. After seeing us draft him and him suit up and put in so much work for the Mavericks. He still looked a little rusty last night, you know. And of course, they double teamed him because he gonna shoot till it start going in. But he definitely made some good plays. Found the open guys for some good shots. I felt like the Mavericks, we got a team that fight hard though. You know what I'm saying? Despite not having any legitimate big men playing right now, we still kept ourselves in that game, even though they really don't need them. Nobody that'll scare you, you know, so it's kind of, you know, pretty even in that department as far as the big men go. But they still do have a full core of players with LeBron, Luka, and everybody else that's playing and that's healthy. But yeah, it'll never sit well with me seeing Luka with the Lakers. I mean, with anybody, but especially the Lakers. You know, why would we trade him to a team like that for what we traded him for? So yeah, it was disheartening.
I got you. Sitting down and watching pretty much all of the game last night. I saw Luka in with that triple double. I saw him and LeBron had some chemistry. I see LeBron and kind of take his reins off of it and let Luka be ball dominant and have the ball in it, and LeBron just slash, play, do some of the little things. I actually seen LeBron playing at the 5 last night because the Lakers really didn't. Jackson Hayes came in the fourth quarter, but they hadn't really used him from when he came in and started the game in the first, and then they used him again in the fourth quarter. Luka had that triple-double. He did look rusty. I think he went 1 from 7 from 3-point line, if I'm not mistaken. He had one that he made, but they ended up going back and taking it out.
I mean, out of bounds, yeah. Hey.
Yeah, that one was a nice one.
Man.
he still looked like Luka, like you said, he still looked a little rusty. His defense still wasn't there as much because he looked like a cone a couple of times where players was running down and they just went right by him. Kyrie blew by him a few times. Max Christie, I should say, might have blew by him a couple of times too.
Yeah.
I was looking at Clay to see what he was gonna do in the first 3 quarters. He was looking real like he had. I could see the reason why Golden State had let him go, but then he picked it up in the fourth. It's like he turned on a switch in the fourth, hit some shots, hit a few threes. They kind of got the Mavs back into the game and then kept it close. And they just wasn't able to come down to the stretch. Kyrie ended up with 35, which is I see him carrying and making some open shots. He really stepping into that leadership role. I feel like once the Mavs get their big men back, they'll take off. Honestly, I feel like if the Mavs would have had 2 of the 3 big men that they had out, they would have won that game easily because the Lakers don't have any big men at all. They would have probably beat them on the boards, dominated the paint, as well as altered some shots in the paint as far as protecting the rim, especially when you got Lively or AD or Gafford and AD, which they are pretty much a rim protector. So it would have had a different outcome. I know that the Mavs probably would have won that game. However, me personally, because Nico Harrison made that dumb trade, I actually kind of like seeing the Mavs take it right on the chin, right in the face right now, because ain't no way. The more that I done saw this trade play out over the last few, that was a dumb trade, man. It ain't no way around it. You gave up.
Yeah, man.
So you got hardly nothing in return. You got Anthony Davis, who has a history of being injury prone, and then his first game out there, he out for weeks at a time. I just can't see any smart person making that trade whatsoever. So I kind of like seeing him take it on the chin in front of everybody. Hopefully, when Luka comes out here for April the 9th game, maybe the Mavs will be more competitive, even though I still kind of want to see Nico take it on the chin because ain't no way you're going to be able to hold that job after making a trade like that. So that's what I took from it last night.
Yeah, I want to see him take it on the chin. Of course, I want the Mavericks to win ultimately, right? But yeah, if Luka can hit us for 70 and we still win, I'm good with that. You know, I never rooted for an opposing player ever to do anything against the Mavericks. One other thing too, though, he was getting blown by, but of course he's still out of shape. But I seen some plays though. I seen a couple of deflections, a block. After he got blew by, he didn't give up. But definitely looked like a cone a few times. I can't dispute that. But I did see some effort defensively, which I thought was good for him to show, especially you got your boy Nico out there in the crowd, and you know they didn't put all this propaganda out about Luka and who he is and who he ain't. Yeah, you got to show that. So yeah, that April 9th game is going to be interesting because we should be. Still don't know what Anthony Davis going. We don't know what any of these guys going to look like come April 9th, to be honest. But I feel like we definitely going to get a better version of Luka.
Okay. And that game, man, I mean, to be honest, April the 9th is like the week before the NBA regular season concludes because I think they start in that team range, April team range. This is coming out of March Madness when NCAA is wrapping up too. They're probably going to be still fighting for seeding, so they might have something to play for with them being in the play-in right now. So getting their chemistry back, I want to see it. We'll see. Like I said, I want to see what they do on that game. I want to see what they look like with at least 2 to 3 big men protecting the paint defensively and then being live threats that they are. Like I said, I feel like they would have won that game easily because the Lakers don't have any big men. But right now, the Lakers are surging. They went in there and beat Denver last week. They beat the Mavs. I want to say they beat Golden State last week without Luka even playing. So they kind of surging right now. They holding their own without a big man. But I feel like come playoff time, they definitely don't need a big man. The Mavs got 2 to 3, and they have 3 big men, and hopefully they can lead them to make some surges, especially going into the playoffs. We're going to see where they end up. Hopefully they can avoid that 1-8 matchup in the first round, playing Oklahoma City in the first round. Like maybe they can get that 2-7, which right now 2-7 would be Memphis or Denver. So either way, you're gonna get a contender. But
give us 8 versus 1. Shit, we'll take.
Look, I got y'all. I mean, been size level Oklahoma City recently anyway, so that'll be something they could take down. I would like to
without
see that.
what we have now, you know what I'm saying? We was getting them when we was shorthanded. Nothing.
I,
Not saying that it won't happen in the playoffs, but I mean, I'm not gonna. If I'm playing or coaching, don't play or coach to avoid nobody, you know, because that's what got people. I remember they did us like that. Denver, George Carr came out in 2011. Yeah, when the Mavericks won and said that he won, he was hoping that they can win or Mavericks can lose enough games to where they get them in the first round. You know, everybody was wanting to match up against the Mavericks in the first round, and come to find out, you know, Lakers found out too. It was a bad matchup for everybody, you know, because they ran through and beat everybody, and Dirk took his team on the greatest run championship history.
I got you. Okay. Good point. Good point too, Shaq. So yeah, I see that. Coming out of the Mavs and just the Lakers standpoint, I actually grew up a diehard Kobe fan, and I thought I was a diehard Laker fan. And when he left and LeBron came, I immediately hated the Lakers. Like I can't stand to watch LeBron from a basketball standpoint. So me watching Luka bringing me some more excitement back to the Lakers, and actually sitting down and watching their games has been kind of cool. I actually threw on a Kobe Bryant Black Mamba shirt today. But like I said, I'm still a diehard Kobe fan. I'm not a LeBron guy either. So
Right on.
LeBron went to the Lakers. I was like, nah, I gotta find somebody else to watch it. But in the years he done been there, I done watched probably I guess a handful of games of Lakers, and I just watched the outcome because I can't stand to watch him play. His style of play, the whole finding the mismatch on the pick and roll offense. I feel like he done kind of. We'll get into it one day. One day we'll get into how I feel like his impact of the game has been a negative impact over these last 20 years. That's definitely the last 10 years, but we'll definitely get into that.
All right, on.
Segueing into just the rest of the league and other teams besides the Lakers and Mavericks. NBA's last week's games they had. I know I watched on Sunday and Monday. I watched Oklahoma City and Minnesota Timberwolves play on Sunday, where Oklahoma City got the win in Minnesota, but then they played right again on Monday, in which Minnesota got the win. They actually was down like 20, 25 points. In the fourth, they let their rookies come in, which was Terrence Shannon. And Dillingham came in and started the surge, and they ended up bringing it back and getting it into overtime. And then going into overtime, Ant made like a block on Shea that was about to go up for the game-winning layup, but Ant ended up blocking it, saving the Timberwolves. And they ended up coming out of there with a victory on Monday. I also sat down and watched the Knicks get blown out by the Celtics over the weekend, and the Cavs. And so anytime they play top teams, they be losing big time. Like they be losing by like 25, 30 points. And currently right now the Cavs are on an 8-game winning streak. They end up winning last night against the Magic.
I saw that one.
Gotcha. And so and then watch Memphis a little bit with them beating the Suns last week. The Suns look like a dumpster fire if I ever saw one. Look like a dump. They done slid down to 11 seed right now. They can't catch a break. So just overall, last week's NBA's game since we last talked, how you feel about where we at as far as the seasons right now and the teams you've been watching, and anything that's been sticking out over them games.
Well, I'm pretty much gonna watch the Mavericks, so that's a given. But I did watch the Cavs last night. I was impressed. You know, I hadn't watched them much. They play some good basketball. Still want to see it in the playoffs. What's my guy name? Big man from USC.
Evan Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley. My bad. Yeah, Mobley. He looked good, man.
Yeah,
Evan Mobley. I was kind of a little bit of some highlights, but to watch him and how fluid he is to be a big man, he's gonna be a problem in years to come as he start getting a little bit more strength. I like how Donovan Mitchell was running the show though when he was in there, setting it up, making some real good plays. They're going to be a problem. Got Jared Allen in the middle, but Texas. But yeah, I just want to see it in the playoffs. Though. I mean, because outside of my guy from Virginia, I can't think of his name either. The small forward.
DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. Thank you. Hunter.
They just traded for
He
him.
with him too. It's his first year with them, right?
Yeah, he just came with the
Yeah,
trade
yeah.
deadline. They swapped him for Karis LeVert.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So I don't think outside of that, I think they pretty much got the same team that got beat last year in the playoffs. But I think that's a good piece. He looked real good with them.
I got you. They end up on same team. Coach swap out. They got Kenny Atkinson, which is a decent coach. He was coaching with the Nets
Right.
for. They
I
let
remember
him
that.
go. Steve Nash. Then he went out
Mm-hmm.
to Golden
And I remember that.
State. Did his assistant thing with Steve Kerr. And so I like the Cavs. I watched them last night. I watched them when they played the Knicks. I thought it was going to be competitive when they played the Knicks, and the Knicks don't have no fight. The Knicks right now are terrible defensively. They're a great offensive team, but they can't stop anybody defensively. They got Jalen Brunson, semi-liability on defense, and then Cat, semi-liability. I think both of them, if you want to just look at defensively, officially, both of them are like bottom tier at their positions at guarding and being on the defensive end, which is causing them to be, if both your two stars ain't producing on the defensive end, and then you playing teams that have high offensive input like Boston, like the Cavs, then you're gonna get blown out every time because you ain't stopping nobody, and then they offense is just as good as yours. That's where you're gonna run into some problems at. And they ran into some problems both times when they played the Cavs and Celtics back to back. They got blown out by 30 back to back. It wasn't good. I do want to give a shout out to Detroit. Right now they on a 7-game winning streak, which is their longest winning streak since the 2014-15 season. So we're gonna keep watching them. With Kay Cunningham, got them the 6 seed right now in the East. So I'm gonna keep looking at that. I'll give them a shout out to. And keep watching them and see where they go. They got a mix of some young guys and some veterans with Cade. They got Malik Beasley coming in making threes. He already done set the single season 3-point record for Detroit. He did that a few weeks ago, and we was like midway through the season. Then just them, maturing a little bit. They end up with JB Bickerstaff as their coach, which is the coach that was at Cleveland. So I guess he came in and gave them a little bit of mature mindset. To get them going in the right direction, which is the same kind of what Ime Udoka is doing in Houston, giving them a mature mindset with some vets and got them playing. I want to say they in the 5 seed. If the playoffs started today, they would be 4 and 5 in the West, and they would play LeBron now going forward. Which they might give LeBron them a problem because Şengün is actually a pretty decent big man. So
He is. They might, Twin might be able to get with Luka a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He been doing this thing, so they might be able to give LA some problems, but I don't know.
all right, to be continued on that. That's a weekly update because we're right in the middle of NBA season. As we transition out of February, we're going into March, we'll start seeing what the NCAA is talking about as far as those conference championship tournaments and then going into the NCAA tournament as well. I'm actually excited. I was talking to some people. I'm actually excited to see the women's side of it just because of the rivalries that they done created over the last couple of years versus the men's NCAA tournament because they trying to use the transfer portal so much. It's hard to keep up with different players from year to year. I don't be knowing where the players be at. I'll find one. If you just don't Google where the player went to, you might lose track of them based off of transfer
It's not
portal.
possible.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. And then, like I said, we'll segue out of basketball. We can jump into the NFL's offseason right now. And since we out here in Dallas, one of the main things that me and you can commonly share based off of us being Cowboys and 49ers fans is the Cowboys decided not to re-sign Trey Lance. And I guess that's a big topic for us. Me being a 49ers fan, we gave up 3 first-round draft picks for dude. He only played half of a season and a half with us as far as football-wise. He ended up being getting hurt on that second year that we actually gave him the reins. He ended up breaking his ankle, giving it back to Jimmy Garoppolo. He never even played no more games. We ended up getting him out of there for a 4th-round pick from you guys, which Jerry sent that over to us. So y'all didn't have a 4th-round pick last year. Y'all don't have a 4th-round pick this year because y'all gave that to Carolina for that receiver that y'all made the midseason trade for again. But how do you feel about Trey Lance not re-signing? Because I know he started that last game. I gave a 4th-round pick for him. Y'all letting him walk out the door. To me, failed trade. You as a Cowboys fan, how do you feel about it?
I mean, you got to say it's a failed trade, but it was worth the risk for a 4th-round pick to get somebody that the 49ers gave up 3 first-round picks to get. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, we had to see what he got. You know, maybe he can come in and be Steve Young, you know, or somebody that's done sat on y'all bench before. I think that was more of a Mike McCarthy project, and I think that's why they're not re-signing him because Mike McCarthy's not there any longer. But I would like to see him be able to come back. I mean, you know, I'm always big on guys we get. I get a little attached. Not that there was much to be attached to with Trey Lance, but I did want to see. I like to see guys, especially quarterbacks, reach their potential. You know, their full potential. I hate how the NFL does quarterbacks. It's definitely not a place for a quarterback to develop. Maybe in 1 or 2 years you're not there, they getting rid of you.
I got you. Fair trade in a sense to me from a Cowboy, and this is me coming out of the Cowboy situation. I feel like y'all was gonna make that trade and invest that 4th-round pick. I feel like I should have gave him more of a shot. He only started 1 game, especially down the stretch when Dak got hurt. Y'all was out of playoff contention. All them games that y'all was out of playoff contention, I feel like Trey Lance should have started them games. So I think it might have been the last 3 or so. Give him a shot to see what he really can do before y'all just let him walk out the building for that 4th-round pick because he never really had a fair shot. And I don't know what he was doing in practice. I did see him in the preseason. I know he didn't really have a good preseason. But if you're going to invest that 4th-round pick, y'all ain't in playoff contention. You already know what Cooper Rush can do. If you brought him in for a 4th-round pick, you expect him at least be the backup of the team. And so he didn't get that backup job. He didn't get that backup opportunity. The only thing that he, as far as the backup opportunity, he only got was he backed up Cooper Rush after that got hurt with that hamstring injury. So failed trade to me, failed investment, which is we'll get into it later on in the show as far as the Cowboys offseason, Jerry Jones running the show, and the general manager decisions that he's made over the last couple of years, which have resulted in the roster that you guys have right now, or lack thereof of roster. And then, but 49ers too, man. We got some hoes too. So I ain't gonna just me being in Dallas, I can sit there. Yeah, I ain't gonna act like the 49ers got a jack. Because actually y'all finished with a better record than the 49ers this year. So it ain't like much I got much room to talk about. Actually, y'all we got a better, I think we picking 11th, y'all picking 13th, or is it 12?
12.
Right behind us then. So y'all finished with a better record.
Yeah, though. I mean, that's why we should have played Trey Lance, so we didn't. Like, what do what are we expecting to get in the playoffs and do? You know, just to say we went. Like, I'm not big on teams backing into the playoffs just to lose in the first round. You better off not even going.
Gotcha. Do you feel that Trey Lance will get another opportunity in the NFL?
Yes, I think he will. Well, it depends on what kind of deal he's willing to take. You know, because the NFL will blackball you. You start trying to get too much out of them, especially quarterbacks like Trey Lance. But I think some quarterback guru is going to be willing to bring him in and give him a shot to sit down and learn. Maybe I don't know where the best place would be for him. Maybe somewhere like LA Rams. I mean, just to sit, just to bring him in. You know, I don't know, not to start, but
I got you. Okay. When you speak on the contract, I honestly don't know if he's going to have really much to say on that. Like, he's going to have to determine his market value. I don't think it's very high right now. You got 2 teams that done gave up on you your first few years of the league. One team that invested a lot of capital as far as draft capital into you, and they gave up on you. And then the second team that you was with basically is giving up on you too. So I don't think that he's going to have a lot to say on that. When you guys didn't re-sign him, me personally, I didn't think many other teams would be looking for him, but somebody might give him a chance. As of right now, what I've seen with him as a 49ers, throwing wise, I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. And then he's coming off of when he came out of South Dakota State. He came out that COVID year where he only started a handful of games. I don't think he's had enough reps of football, and I don't know if he's going to get enough reps of football in high time like action. Because you didn't get it with the Cowboys, you didn't get it with the 49ers. You're not gonna get it signing with a backup deal. And so I think his lack of getting action is gonna hinder his career because he don't have enough experience. Like Brock Purdy, you know why Brock Purdy started with 49ers? And it's solely because he started 4 years at Iowa. And he got a lot of reps, a lot of games under his belt. So when he came in to the NFL, he could rely on that experience of playing 40-something plus college games versus a guy who only played 13 college games. And that's a
Right.
lot.
He was Iowa State.
Yeah, Big 12 football at the time. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to get the reps he's going to need to develop.
All right, I gotta agree with that. Reps is important, and I want to say that too. As far as him developing, it would have been nice to see him get them reps, see it one game and see it develop. The next game, because real game time reps. I mean, everybody's not a practice player. I mean, you should be, but some dudes just play better in the game. So it would have been nice to see him get that opportunity and see if he could get it.
Okay, all right, we can agree on that. All right, I'll move on to the next segment of the show. We actually got a brand new segment, which we're gonna adopt this out of my guy Matt. His last name is Moore. It's gonna be a quick Q&A session where I'm gonna give him a question. He's gonna give me his opinion. I'll give him some feedback on it on how I feel about it as well. But we named this segment More or Less. He's either gonna give me, hey, we want more of it, or he ain't messing with it. He ain't feeling it. He gonna say I want less of that situation, or so we'll kick that off with. Right now, we're coming to the end of February. The NFL Combine starts tomorrow. It's running from February 27th through March the 2nd. The big headline out of that, which came out of it the last few days, is Shedeur Sanders is not going to work out at the Combine. He's a top prospect. They're saying that him and Cam Ward are the top two quarterbacks, and Shedeur is basically saying, nah, y'all got enough film on me. I'm not going to work out. So with that being said, Matt, how you feel about it? More or less on Shedeur not working out at the Combine?
More, definitely more of that. I mean, it worked out for the last guys last year. The quarterbacks that got drafted, none of them did anything in the Combine. And they went 1, 2, 3. So why Shedeur got to get in and put in extra work? You got game film. I would not put myself under another microscope at this point, especially a quarterback. Now if you're going to get in there and run a 4-2 or 4-3, then yeah, go on, blow them away. But other than that, why? What else do you have to show them that the film don't show?
Okay. Do you feel that he should work out during the pro day then?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, he probably will, but I don't feel like he should have to though. You're like, what are you asking him to do? You just asking him to do pretty much put it all, summarize everything that you can get by watching film, which your scout's supposed to be doing anyway. That's what they're there for, to go through those tapes and scrutinize these players. Why would I put myself under that another type of microscope outside of game film? No, you need to see, if you want to see how I perform, then watch me in the game, because that's what you're paying me for, how I play in the game, not how I practice or work out in the combine.
Okay. I am more on he shouldn't work out at the Combine. Based off of, like you said, the previous prospects didn't really work out at the Combine. It's a lot of game tape. He got a lot of tape from Jackson. You can see his growth from Jackson to Colorado's first year to Colorado's second year. I can analyze him on that, so I would take more on that. I would take less on him not doing it at the pro day, though. This is a controlled environment situation. When you come into the pro day, you know exactly the script. Hey, I'm going to throw this amount of passes short. I'm going to throw this amount of passes deep. I'm working out with the receivers that I worked out with the entire time I've been practicing in Colorado. I can control that. I can get out there and basically highlight the situation, put some emphasis, be recent in GMs and scouts' minds and saying, hey, you know what? Recency bias, he had a crisp ball coming off his hand. I can see the difference in what he's been working on towards the end of the year to where he's at right now, footwork wise, arm strength wise, touch wise, things that you want to be able to give them something to go into their end of draft process saying, hey, I feel good about drafting Shedeur Sanders as a top pick. So I would say I'm taking less on him not doing it at the pro day, but more of him not doing it at the combine on that.
And let me just say this: why I would still go no pro day, because now they're going to say they're just getting something else to scrutinize. Well, only time you want to work out is when it's in a controlled environment. You know, they're going to come back to that. How you missed the combine, but you're more comfortable doing this in a control. Somebody is, you know, so it does make sense the way you put it, having that control over that, but and showing them where you've improved at. Like if you've actually added some weight and you got a little bit more zip on your ball, then yeah, I get that. But between now, from when the season ended to now, I can't really see you doing or adding too much more than what you already have. You're not going to get out here and have a Jamarcus Russell now.
I got you. The only thing that I can say, and I'll end it with this one before we move on to the next topic, is I don't know any quarterbacks who have passed up on their pro day. I can remember C.J. Stroud doing his with Marvin Harrison, and everybody was going to see C.J. and Marvin Harrison. I don't know any recent quarterbacks that passed up on a pro day that didn't work out, which is why I said, hey, you get to control it for yourself. Whether you shine or not, it's on you because you control the environment. So, yeah, I'll segue out of that. Speaking of another Dallas quarterback or Dallas native quarterback who's at a crossroads with his team, we got Matthew Stafford and the Rams at a crossroads right now. Matthew Stafford is actually proposing to the Rams to give him $50 million. The Rams are looking at it. You are a 37-year-old quarterback. At some point, we're going to have to move out for you eventually within the next 2 to 3 years as you approach 40. It might be time. We're willing to keep you is what they're saying. Hey, you're doing a great job for us, but we're not willing to give you $50 million. So they've given his agent permission to go out and gauge his value with other teams. More or less, Matt, that you feel the Rams should give him the $50 million and keep him, or should they let him go to another team? And when I say go to another team, the other team will also have to trade for him as well. They're just not going to cut him and let him walk to another team. You're going to have to give the Rams something for Matthew Stafford. So more or less on Matthew Stafford and the Rams crossroads right now.
I don't know which way to go with this. I don't know, but I'll just say less. As far as them giving him that money, I wouldn't give it to him either. And I hope I'm answering the right part of that like that. I wouldn't give it to him either at this point in his life. 37, 50 million. Especially, I think what the Rams are looking at is Aaron Rodgers is available, and he's from California. So bringing that and reuniting him will probably be a little bit cheaper than bringing Matthew Stafford back. Seeing that the Giants are prioritizing Matthew Stafford, so maybe that could be a trade partner that they have. Giants definitely has some good trade capital. You know, I don't know what they're asking, maybe second, third round pick or something, or multiple picks. But they are picking high enough in the draft to where, I would make that trade if I'm the Rams.
Okay.
I'm not going to hurt them on the salary cap.
I got you. I agree with you. All the way around, I'll give you a different perspective on it. I wouldn't necessarily give him $50 million. Maybe not against the salary cap. I might give it to him as a signing bonus just to keep him happy for the next few years. As far as a team trading for him, though, I don't see in my mind, if a team trades for him, that means you're a quarterback away and the rest of your roster is straight. So if you trade for him and you got to give up draft compensation or some players to get him into your building and your roster ain't complete. Like what they're reporting is the New York Giants really want, but they roster he ain't going to come in and make y'all division contenders right away because the rest of y'all roster not that good. So I can only see making that trade from a team that is just a quarterback away, a la in my mind the Jets. And that might be the only team right now that's a quarterback away with a really decent roster with other offensive parts. Pittsburgh too. Will trade for him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the Jets are the option in the Giants though.
Yeah. But the Giants, I guess Brian Dabo is really into getting Matthew Stafford to the Giants.
I'm saying if it was him, I would choose the Giants over the Jets. The Jets, outside of like the Giants, they don't have a bad roster. You got Malik Neighbors over there, receiver, young guy. They done built a better line, better than what the Jets got. Now they D line, they don't have a damn. Well, I'm just forgetting everybody's name, but yeah, they D tackle don't compare to what the Jets have. But outside of that, yeah, they've been putting pieces together to help their pass rush, so they got a better pass rush. They not as downtrodden as they've been. They may be Matt Stafford away from being able to bring somebody else in free agency that can help them. They already got a good draft pick, so I mean, it ain't totally out of the question. Except for if I'll take that back. I probably will go to the Jets because then you look at the Giants and who's in the division compared to where they are in the division, it may be a better option to go to the Jets because you still got the Commanders, Giants. I'm sorry, Eagles. Of course, the Cowboys that you got to deal with. It may be easier to go through the AFC East.
Okay, so that to answer the question, then I would say, to be honest, overall, more Rams just give them the money on the signing bonus. Don't put it on the cap if you can. But if you got to give him money, then go ahead and trade him. But in his situation, I would only want to go to a team that's a quarterback away. I ain't trying to go to Cleveland. I ain't trying to go to a team that ain't that need more than just a quarterback, just based off of the money situation. He done made plenty of money in his career. So at this point, I'm 37. I need to be competing for playoffs and Super Bowls. And I don't know which team is going to give that better than him being at the Rams right now, to be honest with you.
Shit, he probably should be trying to lead the Rams anyway. They ain't finna be competing for no Super Bowl with them.
They made the playoffs, though. I didn't think they had it, man. Their defense is most of their defensive guys are on rookie contracts. You got they getting rid of Cooper Cuff. You still got Puka. They running back a straight. Our division, the NFC West, ain't just the top division either. As of right now, because everybody in there wasn't that good. Seattle wasn't that good. Niners wasn't that good, and Arizona wasn't that good.
Hey, that's the same thing. We was the NFC least before everybody started playing good this year. Well, better. But so yeah, Commander stepped up. So things change year to year. So who knows where the NFC West will be going into next year? Well, time will tell though.
Gotcha. All right. Third question on more or less. Speaking on the NFC East is Cowboys. They came out this week saying at the combine during their reports that they are entering the offseason with selective aggression. More or less on that for you, man. How do you feel about the Cowboys making that statement? Do you want more of them being selective with aggressive behavior into the offseason, or are they just everybody smoking?
Less, and I'm glad you put it in the context that you put it in because you would have been like, "Hey, what you think about selective aggression?" To me, it sounds like you're scary. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just talking about I ain't going football way, but you was to tell me, "Hey, man, this dude over here, he got selective aggression." It sounds like you're a bully. You only pick on people that you know you can win on. But since it's in a football context, selective aggression is crazy to even say that. Because especially in the position that you're in, and you should be just aggressive. I mean, it's I don't know the word for it, but it's a crazy way to word what your plans are is selective aggression. It's not. It's just like you saying you're going all in. It's the same type of context as we're going all in. You're not really because you're kind of leaving yourself a door to kind of say, well, that ain't the aggression we selected. We're only going to do because the selective aggression is what you've been doing. You've been penny pinching in the off season, looking for bargains through trades. That's how we end up getting Gilmore and Cook 2 years ago. But that's as aggressive as you've been outside of trading Amari Cooper. So yeah, selective aggression is not going to work. That's the same thing that you've been doing to improve your team. So that's just us pretty much building through the draft.
Okay. I'm less on it as well. I'm less on it on this standpoint is you give that answer to the public. It's a very vague, a very gray area answer. Because
right,
as we're saying selective aggression, that can mean many things. And so when you go out there and say that in the public, you're giving everybody an opportunity to say, hey, they were selected over here or they was aggressive over here. You put it together. But it don't give anybody any real answers on what you plan on doing. Either we're going to go out and spend money to get free agents to come in and help our team, or we're not gonna go out and we're just gonna develop the players that we got. Don't step up to the podium and give the Cowboy fans or Dallas or anybody that gray area answer anymore. I feel like they tired of it. They just went through a whole season of, hey, you told us we was gonna go all in and we only signed in the offseason. And then you come back this next following offseason and give us another gray area answer on how we're gonna approach this offseason and free agents. You didn't tell us anything that we didn't already know, which is selective aggression. Every team goes into the offseason and they have a list of free agents and a list of needs that they feel like they need to address in the offseason. They have the players list is going to be, hey, do we value this player? How much do we value him here at this price? And if we feel like we can get him, we're going to go real hard at him to make sure we get him on our team, and we're going to be aggressive. We're going to call his agent. We might even start off with every negotiation starts off with a medium number. We might even have a range of what we were willing to go to pay for that. But that ain't no different than any other offseason. Every team gonna have that. So you coming up with this great answer, we still don't know what the Cowboys' plans are for this offseason. Are y'all gonna go out and get free agents to make the team better, or are y'all gonna rely on your draft picks, or are y'all gonna stay flat and just hope that the team develops under the new coaching staff? They didn't give any answers, so I'm less on that, which is
And I don't think he owe answers. You owe results. So
right.
actions speak louder than words. So let's see it. We haven't seen it. So that's the main thing. I don't care about you manipulating the media and saying stuff like that, that leaves that gray area. That's fine. But when we know that that's what you've been doing, that becomes worrisome.
I got you. I think that backing up what you're saying, how your results, you don't need any answers from questions. The thing about it is the results that they previously gave out, especially this past year, generated questions, which is that direct question: what are you guys planning to do to improve your team going into next year? And if your answer is selective aggression, that means you gave us right back a gray area answer. You didn't answer in black and white, which is only going to continue to generate more questions until you are able to provide results, which you're only going to be able to provide results once season one. Or yeah, week one start. Got a lot of questions that are going to be given out there between now and then.
In the off season, if they decide to sign somebody, so that'll be something to say, okay, we see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't know what that's going to look like until the season starts, but you can show that you plan on doing a different, building your team in a different way, just by signing a free agent or two that in the position that we need. That way, when we draft at number 12, we're actually able to take the best player. We're not actually having to draft based off of a needs per se.
I got you. Oh, okay. All right. That pretty much concludes our list of.
So, question for you.
What you got?
And kind of go back to that.
Okay.
Would you, as a 49er fan, want your team to pursue Matt Stafford?
Honestly, I want to pursue any of the 32 starters on any other team besides the one we got.
On that, what?
Take Matt Stafford. I could take Dak.
Hey, that's my guy, man. So
yeah, with the roster that we have, I feel like a competent quarterback. And when I say competent, I'm saying Brock is not a competent quarterback mind wise. Talent wise, I feel like he's below par. I watched him over the last 2 years. He struggles to drive the ball down the field, especially outside the numbers. He gets a lot of balls batted down at the line of scrimmage based off of his statue. He doesn't have a lot of zip on his ball. And so I've watched a number of the first round picks, which are pretty much all of the other 32 teams, except for like Jalen Hurts and a couple other guys who might have been second or third round picks, fourth round like that. But they have one talent. They can drive the ball down the field. He has his arm is probably the most least powerful driving the ball down the field of the 32 starters. I've even watched Bryce Young zip the ball down. C.J. Stroud can throw it with some touch. You name it. I've seen backup quarterbacks come in there and drive the ball down the field. He can't drive the ball down the field. He's an anticipatory quarterback. If a receiver gets bumped, and they might screw up the timing, or if he got to slide through and throw it with an angle through the defensive or offensive line, it messes up his timing because he's a timing quarterback. That's where a lot of his picks come from. Receivers might not be in the spot that he threw it to. And then also that arm talent just didn't zip it there when it needed to be zipped there. So I'm with them. So I don't say give the Rams a whole bunch of draft compensation. We got $50 million in cap space. I don't mind giving it to Matthew Stafford. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers, though. That's the only one that I don't want to see. I feel like he's really washed.
No, A-Rod. So
Nah, even though he's from the Bay.
I'm making the same mistake that San Diego made when they let Drew Brees walk because he didn't have a lot of drive on his ball.
Correct.
He had stature, but he ended up being a technician at the position the more he moved forward. And then we got to also mention, y'all did have Joe Montana. Joe Montana is not Darren Marino when it comes to arm strength, you know?
Yeah. And I ain't saying you got to be Josh Allen arm strength. But I there's a difference. There's a gap in between his arm strength and some of the other quarterbacks. It's zipping that ball in there when it need to be zipped in. If you watch it, he has an arc on his ball. As he comes out, man, he comes out as an arc. And if he's driving it outside the numbers, you'll see it arc. And that ball will be in the air for a while. And you'll be like, hey, if he wouldn't have had no time, and it would have been picked. And
yeah, maybe y'all need to get some receivers that get open faster, man. Y'all are working with a running back at receiver.
Then we put it on the receivers and everything. So no, I'm strictly talking quarterback play. So no, asking that question, I want to see I would rather see
Jerry Rice and watch what he do.
I gave him Brandon Ayuk. He ain't Jerry Rice, but Ayuk ain't bad on the routes either. He's definitely a route technician, and so I saw what he did without Brandon Ayuk and what he did with him, and I know that he. So yeah,
Brock Purdy's run his course with the Niners, as far as you're concerned. You hope so.
Yeah. Once that rookie deal is up, I can see. I don't. I mean, they saying they're gonna give him that extension. And if you go by what everybody else is getting, I see him getting a $50 million contract because you basically comparing him to like Tua, Justin Herbert. His win, his facts on the field are better than Tua's. Tua's sitting right now at $53 million. So if I'm his agent, I ain't taking nothing less than 53 or 54 million.
I mean, I feel you on that. I mean,
but at some point, one team got to go in there and reset that quarterback market. Just can't keep giving.
They got to, man. That's crazy how they dominate the salary cap like that. No matter the talent, like you got to reset the market with your quarterback when you. I mean, every position, and that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That the next man up get to reset that, you know, or however you want to put it. Like, no, I mean, but that's just, I don't know how they got it. That collective bargaining or whatever agreement that they got or however it goes. I ain't into all of that. I just know it's crazy. But definitely the quarterback got to get more control. You can't build a team if after your quarterback gets off that rookie deal.
Okay. Also with that, the salary cap jumped up by like 21 million, 22 million. I think it was at 255 million last year. They anticipated being between 277 and 281 this year, which I saw Michael Parsons happy that when they announced that, he ended up tweeting out, let's get paid or something of an excitement because he due for that big contract. So that'll just help him secure the deal and possibly be able to have a little bit more to secure some free agents and stuff like that too. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm waiting on it to see what Brock Purdy deal is going to be. They done already announced the owner, even Jed York, is even getting into the negotiations to try to help do sign. I don't know what they see. Maybe I'm not there at practice every day, but I know that he's going to need some pieces around him. And so in order to have pieces around him, you got to have some salary cap space. So I wouldn't offer him no more than $30 million. I'll put him on that Baker Mayfield contract, $30 million. I would even give it. Say I gave him $30 million. I would per year. I would give it all to him, guaranteed. Give him the whole $90 million. I'd even go up to $100 million, guaranteed, fully guaranteed. $25 million.
Question though. Mm-hmm. So what if the NFL did away with the salary cap? Do you think that'll make the league better?
No. I enjoy having a salary cap and watching teams go from being terrible maybe a year or two and then being contenders the next 2 years. I actually enjoy. I don't want to see LA Dodgers and New York Yankees.
I do. Yeah, I like the parity. Yeah, I like the in the NFL. I mean, because even the Cowboy owner don't have the most money in the league. Jerry Jones don't have the most money, so it doesn't necessarily mean that we would be able to bid or pay for free agents. But I think as far as developing talent, they're just going to give the opportunity and more patience with developing talent. That's why the rush is so much, especially for quarterbacks, because it's all on the salary cap. You know what I'm saying? And you got to make them decisions based off that. It does add some strategy to it, but it does, to me, it just takes away from having it. I like to see the days of the 49ers and Cowboys dynasty, or whatever team doesn't have a dynasty before. You know, when the Bills had they time when they was going 4 in a row, you know, they was able to keep that together, like right around the time when the salary cap, or right before it actually hit like that. So yeah, I would like to see that, man. I wouldn't mind it. Baseball got it. It's still competitive. Yeah. The Dodgers just now started doing what they're doing, but you still got to be concerned. No team is going to be injury free. So you can do all that, but injuries can still put you back to where everybody else is, despite what you've done. So I want to go more on getting rid of the salary cap.
Gotcha. And I say this is different, and we'll bring the baseball aspect into it. So baseball, they don't have a salary cap, and various teams win it every year, which is team camaraderie and things of that nature. But also baseball is also dependent on pitchers getting hot, batters getting hot, and it's a strategy game too. Football more so, I enjoy watching the GM put a roster together, seeing players develop, seeing players not develop. And especially the ones that invested millions of dollars in and they don't even, I get a kick out of there. You thought this player was going to do this, you paid him millions of dollars and he didn't do nothing.
You don't get a kick out of when it's the 49ers.
I do get a kick out of it. That's why I don't want him to pay Brock Purdy, because then I ain't going to get no kick. You right, I ain't going to get no kick out of that one. But I watched him give Javon Hargrave money 2 years ago coming off of that NFC championship where we lost to Philly, giving him the money. He did okay the first year and he tailed off last year. They already said they're going to release him. Things of that. I like seeing a GM go to work. I wouldn't mind. Actually, I got a good friend. He's not actually my good friend, but I went to college with him. He's good friends with one of my I ain't gonna claim talk recently.
Yeah, but it's your friend, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put it out there. Go and drop the name. I'm just playing.
He's Minnesota Vikings VP of football operations. He actually was out with the 49ers with John Lynch too, and then he ended up going to Minnesota. As well. Mind you, I went to college with the dude. I played football in college. I got classes with him. His name is Demetrius Washington. He wasn't even around football. I don't know how he got this job, got into this, but he wasn't in football like that. But he talked a lot of sports with us. I can have a great conversation with him. He actually was in my fantasy league several years. He actually won, and I might need to call him and say, hey, bro, I think you was getting inside information because you won the league like 2 or 3 times.
Yes, sir.
Popping up on 49ers championship games with John Lynch in the booth. I said, man, that go ski right there. But no, he actually just got recognized last week with it. So I might, like I said, I'm giving him a shout out with him. I definitely appreciate everything he's doing. Again, Black History Month he's doing. I think he was top 50 under 40 in the NFL. So now that definitely give him a shout out on that too. So I'm glad to see him doing that. But I like seeing a team. Going back to the question, I like seeing the team be able to maneuver through the salary cap. Just do your job with it. Like I like seeing play some money here, play some draft picks here, kind of finessing other teams out of draft picks and players and seeing how they're paying out. I actually enjoy it versus, hey, we got the most money. Tell me what you want. We'll pay it. If we value that, if we don't, we ain't paying it. And when you ask me that, so that's my take on it. I like seeing the parity over the years and stuff. If you can make a dynasty out of that, then cool. But I like seeing a team go from last to first, kind of like Washington did. It was a good story to see them come in with the rookie quarterback and then just go from there.
Yeah, and then 2 years from now, 4 years from now,
they got
again, you know what I'm saying? Now you running off of that. So I mean, again, I respect your opinion on that. That's why I asked. Again, I would like to see it another way, and it's just what it is. But the way you run it is how it is. So there, NFL agree with you.
I got you. Okay. Anything else you got before we wrap up this episode?
Just want to say that anybody, shout out to the 10 people on YouTube that viewed the last video. Hey, much love to y'all. Y'all make sure y'all send it to y'all friends. That way they can view the video too. This is going to grow. We're going to be consistent with putting in work. We're going to get better as we do this. So definitely, if you in for a good one. So stick around, hang with us. We are looking for people that are interested in telling their story. More people, me, I'm more interested. I don't care what you do, but again, I will say I do want to interview definitely people that participated in sports in the DFW. Yeah, if you from Willie hometown, you want to come on, then that's fine too. I'm not trying to hold nobody back, but I'm just sending it out to the people specifically that I'm looking for. People that participated in Pop One or any little league team, the Oak Cliff Jets, Redskins, Dragons, the Redbird 49ers, I'm 49ers Raiders, the Oak Cliff 49ers, Redbird Raiders, my bad, y'all, Oak Cliff 49ers, whatever, Oak Cliff Gators, everybody, you want the Kimball, Plano East, anybody. We like to hear your story. I don't care if you didn't make it all the way or you was cold in the league and something happened. We want to know what happened. That way we can share your story. You can share your story, and somebody else might can learn from that. Somebody on the up and coming, some child may see it, and for nothing else, you getting the chance to tell your story and get it shared out. Definitely gonna share it on Instagram, DFW News. You can use. So if y'all interested, reach out to us. You can send me a DM on Instagram. If you got, Willie, you can hit him up and get with him. And so that'll be something that's coming up too.
I got you.
Definitely got some people that I want to get.
Okay. Piggybacking on what you're saying, hey man, we're growing and playing. I mean the podcast as well as my Instagram right now. I just actually opened it up to the public. I've been promoting that, promoting some sports, promote sneakers. I'm also starting to do a little bit of DJ mixes as well on that. But got a lot of people that I done ran into and played sports teams with, whether it was high school, college, even to the people I've met since I've been moved out here in Dallas as well. So we're definitely looking for some guests to come in and help us out and some, give us some different perspectives on some episodes. It ain't gonna just be me and Matt on here talking about the stuff we reviewed. It would be great to get somebody else to come in and give us a different opinion. Me and Matt have a great chemistry where we give different opinions on how we view certain stuff, which is why we started the podcast, but we definitely looking to grow it forward as well. So we'll get this queued up. I actually have my Instagram finished, and that way I can start giving a shout out to everybody on here so they can go follow it. Once I finish that, I'll get you guys going in the right direction, which I plan to have done by episode 4. And actually, we plan on having another episode within the week. So we'll come in with some new topics, get that dropping off. I see Matt done jumped in with his Mavericks jacket on today, so we'll give the Mavs a shout out, even though they had the loss last night. I came into it with a black mama coat. Started having a rival here, even though we live in Dallas, but it's all good.
Yeah. And another thing, boxers too, y'all. My bad, y'all. I want to say that. Got a couple boxing homies that I'm gonna reach out to. So y'all get ready. If y'all see this, be by your phone. I'm gonna send you a message and try to work something out to get you on. Shout out to my boy Jesse. I'm gonna hit you up. Former pro, went to school with you. Play football with you, so I'm gonna give you a chance and you tell your story.
Okay, sounds good. Look forward to talking with him and meeting him and going from there. We'll go ahead and conclude this one. This is season 1, episode 3. The end of February, the 27th, going into March. Next episode, we'll probably be wrapping up the NFL Combine, reviewing NBA's last week's games, and then any hot sports topics that we came up with in the next few days. We'll address them too. Until then, this is the Real Game Podcast. Matt, we'll talk to you later, my man.
All right, now, y'all. Have a good one.